Welcome to Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Today we're looking at board games launching the second half of June 2018 on Kickstarter. Before we jump into that, I have here a copy of Dragon Castle from CMON. Check back at the end of this video and I'll tell you how you can enter for a chance to win a copy of this game. One that I missed coming June 14th is Solarius Mission. It's by Spielworks. It's for 2 to 4 players, and the game is a tactical and strategic civilization game in a pulp science fiction setting with a dice draft, dice manipulation, and resource management. Thundergriff Games is bringing Tang Garden on June 18th. It's a Zen-like game for 1 to 4 players that will take you to the first golden age of China, where players will progressively build a garden by creating the landscape, placing the scenery, and projecting their vision through the vertical panoramas. During the construction, noblemen will visit the garden to admire their surroundings and the way the natural elements coexist in the most breathtaking scenery humankind has ever laid their eyes upon. Artipia is bringing A Thief's Fortune on June 18th. You're a thief, always on the look for the next target to hit. You decide to sneak into the royal palace, break into its treasure room, and look for mythical treasures rumored to be hidden there. Thief's Fortune is a card game for 1 to 4 players in which each player represents a different possible future of the same character. So Long My World is launching June 19th. It's a movement programming and card drafting game for 1 to 5 players with a unique art style and immersive emotive theme. You choose amongst vision cards in order to gather feelings in the form of tokens, and use them to discover your true self by playing remnant cards from your hand. Remnant cards can change a person's heart or alter the perception of time, so use them wisely, to hinder or even help your opponents. But beware, as others are experimenting with the madness of their final hours, some will do whatever it takes to obstruct your journey along the way. Days of Discovery is launching June 19th. A new land in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean was discovered by Portuguese sailor Raimundo Pérez da Costa at the cusp of the 14th century. Players recreate this accomplishment in a game that plays out as a 3-act story. First, draft cards representing people who have evidence of the hidden land and plans to get there in order to gain sponsorship from one of 6 important figures. Second, use the resources from your sponsor to draft cards representing the supplies and crews needed to make the final journey. Finally, sail the treacherous seas to discover the land of danger by using your hand of cards to pay for the costs of the voyage. The game's for 1 to 6 players. Forbidden Games is bringing Raccoon Tycoon to Kickstarter on June 19th. In this game, players try to produce the most valuable commodities in an ever-changing marketplace. Then, they use those commodities to build towns or sell them at the best price to secure great profits that can be used to win auctions for the all-important railroads. The profits may be also used to buy powerful buildings that give the players power-ups or bonuses in production. Owning the best towns and railroads determines victory. There could only be one top dog in Astoria. It's for 2 to 5 players, and it's a set collection game. Little Cerebral Games is bringing TWIXT on June 19th. It's a popular 2-player strategy board game from the 1960s and is being relaunched. Try to connect your borders with an uninterrupted chain of linked pegs and stop your opponent from doing the same. Colossal is bringing Eclipse Second Dawn for the Galaxy on June 19th to Kickstarter. It's a revised and upgraded version of Eclipse, the base game, that debuted back in 2011. The new features include new graphic design, introductory short story, a full line of Ship Pack 1 miniatures, new miniatures for Ancients, GCDS, orbitals, and more. There's custom plastic inlays, custom combat dice, and some fine-tuned gameplay. Overturn Rising Sands launches June 19th. It's a tactical combat-based RPG board game with co-op elements to it. The game uses Middle Eastern folklore as a backdrop to tell its story, which is ingrained in supernatural elements, legends, and conspiracies. Bellwether Games is bringing an expansion to Coldwater Crown on June 20th, The Sea. It adds 5 new species of fish, including 1 new wild color master angler species, a beautifully illustrated seaboard, and uniquely scored sea challenge, 1 new turn option, 4 fishing vessels, 1 new type of fishing tackle, and an expansion rules for solo play. There'll be another quick 5-day campaign from CMON coming on June 25th. Kids Table Board Gaming is bringing Wreck Raiders on June 26th. It's an innovative dice drafting worker placement game. Choose a die from the pool, then send one of your divers to any spot on the board with that number. But be warned, the spot you choose will help any diver in the spots next to you, whether they're friendly or not. Meet My Alter Egos is coming June 25th for 3 to 6 players. Be whoever you want to be without knowing who you are. Plotmaker, with the help from Colossal, is bringing Combo Fighter on June 26th to Kickstarter. It's a card-driven rendition of the classic arcade fighting game. You take the role of a colorful and fantastic martial artist represented by a 50-card deck and go up against a fierce opponent. Alternatively, you can partner up with a friend and take on 2 opponents in team battle mode, or fight a handful of characters in the Battle Royale variant. Dominations Road to Civilization is a 2 to 4 player game coming on June 26th by Oliver Mellison and Eric Dubus. In this domino-based civilization building game, players take on the role of a primitive tribe, which they will seek to grow into a nation whose influence will echo through the ages. Crown of Aragon is a card-based area control game for 2 players coming on June 27th, set in the vast medieval kingdoms. As the monarch of one of those smaller kingdoms, you will seek to prove your worth as a ruler and bring unity to the larger region by claiming the vacant crown. The game is played using a shared draw deck of 54 cards. On a player's turn, they play 1 or more cards into one of the 3 areas of influence: economic, military, or political. Then players compare the total strength of their cards in each to determine who, if anyone, will gain influence in those areas this turn. A player wins when they have 10 influence in a single area or 5 influence in 2 areas. Nanty Narking is coming the end of June. It's for 2 to 4 players. It's a Victorian board game of wit and pod snappery that re-implements the well-known Discworld Ankh-Morpork. Immersed deeply in the world of Dickens and Doyle's literature, the card events in this game are now tied to real and fictional characters and places in London, and more than 90 miniatures are based on true London characters. Nanty Narking also includes more player goals than in the original game, allowing for more variety during gameplay. Creepers from Ace Studios is coming the end of June for 2 to 5 players. It's a tile-laying game with elements of stealth and hand management. It takes place in a living labyrinth built by a terrible necromancer that has just been destroyed by a group of heroes. What they don't know is that the necromancer can be brought back to life if his servants gather relics that are hidden throughout the dungeon. Players assume the role of these necromancer servants: mimic, a ghost, a doppelganger, a goblin, or an ooze. Each player must retrieve 3 relics before the other servants do. AEG announced Thunderstone Quest coming back to Kickstarter sometime in June. The next Kickstarter will feature the most requested new feature from the first Kickstarter, solo and co-op rules, which feature all new ways to defeat the Guardians before they destroy the village. It will also feature the 6th quest, What Lies Beneath. Sometime in June, Eagle Gryphon Games will bring Infamous to Kickstarter. It's a game in which 2 to 5 aspiring supervillains compete to become the most infamous in the world. Searovers is launching sometime in June. Worthington Publishing announced that they will be launching a Kickstarter campaign between now and June for this game. This will be a deluxe game with all premium components. Limbo Miniatures is bringing a bunch of miniatures to Kickstarter toward the end of June this year, and they're looking to fund their new board game project, which features towering miniatures. And launching sometime in June, we'll also see the board game Theosis. Quiver Game Gear announced player mats for Gloomhaven that will be kickstarted in June. An expansion to Project Mars from Point and Click Design coming to Kickstarter in June as well. And then sometime in June, we'll see Era of Kingdoms. So how can you enter for a chance to win Dragon Castle? Well, since it's all about dragons and castles, well, actually, it's about mahjong. But there are some cool animals in it. Tell me what your favorite animal is in the comments, and if you liked any of the games that were on the list, and I will randomly pick a winner from the comments on June 18th, 2018. Well, thanks for joining me today, and be sure to subscribe to our channel. Enter for a chance to win a copy of this game.